Okay, we are live. Wonderful. Um, yes, this is an early one for me. I I'm up at 4 to talk to you guys. um, so I hope that you are also awake. I guess most people here will be in the USA, Canada, because in Norway, as I said, well, I'm in Norway, and it's 10 past 4 in the morning. So, yeah, why that early? Well, simply because I could not sleep. That's just how it is. Now, I have put a link to my viral video. Um, I have a viral video again, not on this channel, but on my main channel. So uh, you might consider going there after this live stream, just clicking on that link and watching that. And do consider to subscribe to my main channel and this channel. That would be awesome. Yeah, so now I am not doing this live stream to brag about my video going viral. Um, I am going to talk about it because I think what is happening now is that people are finally pushing back against AI. And that is what we are going to talk about because I think it is significant. It's, I was kind of waiting for it. First of all, let me now just say hello to the wonderful people here. Aramis, KP Hidden, Phenomenina, Daniel, Diablo, Cat, Nanya, Texas on the back 20, Green Eyed Lady, Galadriel is here as well. Wonderful. Wolf of Odin, good to see you. So, I have been talking about AI and how it should be kept far away from both entertainment and the arts. I've been talking about that before. And the first times, well, up until recently, that was not a popular statement. And I told people that, listen, it's ruining the publishing business, the publishing industry, which means that it's taking the livelihood away from authors. Now, I'm a novelist myself. It's taking the livelihood away from translators and illustrators, the people who make covers for books and so on. And the reaction I got was that most people don't care, or they think that, well, people will never be reading AI generated novels. And I was there telling people that, listen, people are already reading AI novels. And just to explain how that works really, really fast here, it's not like it says AI on the cover. The thing is that these so-called novelists, they use AI to generate a book, then they edit it, and in that way they can have a book written in 1 or 2 months. But it's still an AI generated novel. Now, I was waiting for people to wake up. And human beings are quite simple. We are simple creatures. As I've said, we're just apes with long legs. And I think, I was kind of waiting for this to AI to negatively affect people in general, because I knew that when that happens, then people will not like AI so much anymore. So it didn't take long, because what these social media platforms did was that they allowed their platforms to be flooded with AI generated videos, AI generated thumbnails, AI generated voiceovers, everything AI. And in addition to that, they started, like YouTube, to implement AI in every fucking function on the platform. So it quickly got a little bit annoying. And when YouTube, this being YouTube, when YouTube started their so called age verification system in the USA, they haven't rolled it out in other countries yet, as I'm saying this, but that will probably happen soon. AI driven age verification system, which means that you must allow AI, YouTube's AI, to judge your age, to estimate your age based on what you have been watching. So apparently, if you are watching gaming channels like computer games and so on, then the AI will think that you're a child. That's, at least that's what I've heard. And then the AI will ask for a selfie, and they will ask for you to scan your passport or credit card or other proof of identity. And I think anyone who is not extremely naive understands that this is not about age verification. This is about harvesting information about you, and it's also about training the AI model so that they can build an AI agent for each single user. Now, I'm not a tech expert, but that's how I understand it. That's why they are doing this. It's not about age and verification. They don't care about that. So suddenly, AI started to negatively affect people. It started to annoy people. And how to quote that wonderful series, The Office, how the turntables, how the tables have turned. So I'm not seeing people writing those foolish words, oh, AI is just a tool. I'm not seeing that so much anymore. Um, and also that other thing, oh, when I criticize the use of AI and the implementation of AI into everything, I sometimes I'm being called a boomer. Oh, that's such a boomer take. I'm not seeing that so much anymore. Funny how that works. But what I am seeing is a massive uprising on YouTube and other social media against AI. And YouTube has, oh, bless them. They, you know, at least they're trying. I guess you could say they have made some posts. Um, they have their own creator channel for the creators, and they made some posts there. And also these, there are a couple of these big how to do YouTube channels, which at this point are basically just grifters for Google and they've been asking, what do you think about this new feature that YouTube is rolling out? Latest one was hype. We're going to talk about the hype thing as well. And everyone's, not everyone, but like 80 or 90% are writing in the comments, if you have a look there, I don't care, just get rid of the AI. People hate AI now, as they should. So yeah, YouTube rolled out the hype feature. I'm probably going to ask people to hype my videos. By the way, can you see the hype feature under this live stream? I don't know how it works. It's not in Norway yet, I think. Because yeah, they need to roll out the hype feature, because God forbid we actually listen to people when they click subscribe to a channel. No, we can't go by that. We can't go by that. No. So yeah, you get 3 hype points, and if you want more, you have to buy them. Oh yeah, it's wonderful, isn't it? So so what happened, of course, was that the most hyped videos were the AI slop videos, as far as I'm told, because apparently you can just build automatically like 10,000 fake profiles that all hype your video on your AI slop channel. So yeah. Divina says, I don't see any hype feature. Yeah, okay. Yeah, and you're saying the hype belongs to the bot farms. Yes, exactly. So who could have guessed? And you're saying block all the AI slop. Absolutely. Green-eyed lady says no hype feature on this video. I wonder if that's because you are live. Yeah, maybe. I read that the hype feature is only on channels that have between 500 and 500,000 subscribers. So it's at least not so it's not on my main channel, because that's bigger than that. That's a bigger channel. Occult Prepper, hi there. So so let's see. Yeah, so apparently the pushback against AI has started, and it fills me with hope. And what we all need to do now is to not click on the thumbnails that look like they're AI generated, and do not watch the AI generated videos. Now it's I made the mistake on clicking on some of those, actually, because it's like a sequel to a movie I wanted to see, and I thought, oh, it's out, and it's just a fake. I'm sure you've done it as well. If there's like a sequel to a movie and you're waiting for that, and then it says, here's the trailer, and it's just a fake AI trailer, and you watch a few seconds before you realize this is just a fake trailer. So yeah. Oh yeah, am I getting ads on this live stream for AI? Yeah. But of course, at this point, it's already, I wouldn't say too late, but at least, some people, they are deep into the AI thing now, living through their smartphone. I'm reading about people who have AI girlfriends or boyfriends. And I heard on the radio yesterday while driving my car that there was this guy in Norway actually who used ChatGPT so much, and he had like this his ChatGPT. I never used it, but his profile or something. He had developed a romantic relationship with his ChatGPT, and he felt like he was unfaithful to his wife because of the AI. And you have to laugh, but it's kind of tragic, uh, you know. Um, but yeah, um, yeah. Kat says I feel for that. Yes, the fake AI movie trailers. Yeah. Sometimes it's real. Spinal Tap has a new movie coming out. Yeah, and that's the thing. You know, what is real? Um, Poststone, thank you for the donation. Thank you so much. I got a call out from Meta Angel. I don't know what Meta Angel is. You also sound very angry more often lately. Well, thank you. I'm I'm not angry today. It's too early for that. But yeah, where was I? Let's see here. Yeah. So, what is real? That's a consequence of the AI. We don't trust anything that we see online anymore. At least I don't. Because you don't know if is this am I being fooled now? Is this just a fake AI generated video about this politician saying something crazy, or is this politician actually saying that? Or it's what can you trust? And that's a big problem because you start not trusting anything that you see anymore. Um, and I and also it's like if these, let's say, the president of the USA, now that being Donald Trump, then this is not really the best example, but let's say the president of the USA was like this, what's the word, pristine example of decency, um, like going to church on the Sundays, and well, I guess, well, no, never mind. Yeah, of course they're all Christian and all that, but let's say his his profile. It was another guy. Let's say it was another guy, right, who had this like never done anything wrong, and then he's caught, with a prostitute, and there's a video, and then you would think, is this real or not? And then they could just say that, well, it's not real. Um, it's 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 just fake. They could just say it's fake. It's AI. And how would you know? What it could be. Maybe it's real. Maybe it's fake. You wouldn't know. Poststone says, "Do we enter a new age of testability?" I don't know what testability is, but thank you for the donation. Hi there, Diana. You are very welcome. Let's see. Yeah, and Divina, yes, you're saying they should clearly watermark AI-generated content. Yes, and it should be on the thumbnail or just below the thumbnail so that you can know before you give it a click if it's AI or not, or if it contains AI or not. What I have, but they won't do that. I think we all know that they won't do that. So what I've done, if I make a thumbnail for a video, now these live streams, I don't make a thumbnail. Okay, I don't bother. But on my main channel, I do make thumbnails, and what I have done is that I put like this stamp, and it says authentic, no AI video on the stamp, and it's in the corner on the thumbnails. And I thought, I'll do that so that people will know at least this video is not AI. I will say that when it comes to, I'm using Photoshop at the moment. I'm going to cancel Photoshop, and because of the you pay every month, and I hate that. But anyway, I don't know in which parts of the software they use AI. So it could be that since I'm using Photoshop, that I'm using AI without knowing it. So I'm not saying that the thumbnail is created completely without AI. I don't know, but I'm at least not. Well, you know what I mean. Okay, so yeah, Adobe is crap. Yeah, I have to have Adobe, the PDF thing, because that's what all the publishers use. So yeah, I'm going to download Affinity, because that's like you pay once. That's how it should be. But my viewing time, thank you so much for the donation. You're saying just recently in Orange County, California, a 16-year-old boy, and there's a word lacking there. I think a 16-year-old boy, and then there's a word lacking, himself due to ChatGPT. It reaffirmed everything that he asked about how to do it. If that word is what I think it is, that's very, very tragic, obviously, and very, yeah. I think there needs to be, the governments actually they need to go in and regulate this. But what I saw in the USA, they had actually written specifically in one of the papers there from the government, from Trump, that there will be no regulation of the AI for a long period of time. That's what it said, which, well, we all know where the money comes from, so shouldn't be a surprise. But Postone Linux, no, I don't know anything about Linux. And Divina, yes, AI going to cause water and power shortages. The new data centers are huge. There's one across the fjord here that they are building, and I'm not kidding. they said that the power consumption will be measured in percentages of the total power consumption in Norway on that data center alone. Yeah, so that's crazy. And when these people at in the World Economic Forum and those all that club that we are not a member of, when they meet, they fly their private jets and they talk together about how to rule the world and how to manage the peasants, us. They talk about AI as if it's going to save the environment. We're going to find so many good solutions um, concerning the environment. Yeah, with AI. So okay. So I think what we're going to see on social media and in many other parts of our culture, but let's concentrate on social media, and specifically on YouTube. I don't know, is YouTube social media? They're trying to be, but I don't view YouTube as social media. We're going to see people fighting back, people wanting authentic content. Now, of course, you have the AI slop channels blowing up on YouTube. That's happening as we speak. But I'm also seeing other channels that are very authentic. Like, okay, those that I'm thinking of are actually reaction channels. And I don't see reaction channels as very valuable, but you might disagree there. But of course, you can add value, but it's not like you're creating something. And I think that's a problem in itself, that the portion of actually authentic original videos on this platform is sinking. I think it is, pretty sure. And the reaction videos and AI slop videos, all of that, that portion is increasing. And I think that people are aiming for watching the authentic material. We want that. We need that. And I think that's a good thing. I think that's a good thing. So let's see. Someone saying water and oil will never run out. Well, oil will run out at some point. That's because it's finite. Finite, the opposite of infinite. It's finite. Yeah, you know what I mean. Excuse my Norwenglish. And when it comes to water, well, water can run out. I mean, some of the summers here, the water have run out. Ran out. Well, it the woods are very dry, and the rivers and the lakes are almost empty because of water can run out. Not on a global scale maybe, but it's kind of a problem when you when there is no water in your area. um, uh, so let's see here. um, Yeah. Okay. I will stick with what seems to be the common consensus when it comes to how oil is created by those processes. I'm not a that's not my field of knowledge. So I'll stick to what like 99.9999% of proper scientists are saying about that. Um, okay, so yeah, people want authentic content. Um, okay, post on. What happens there? Thank you for the donation. Is YouTube? It crashes. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, if I miss some comments, I'm sorry. It's kind of difficult sometimes. um, yeah. Now, okay. Oh, the ads. Yes, I'm sorry. The ads. It's not you. Now, I can't control when the ads are placed in the live stream because that's individual. That's like it's not me controlling that, and it varies from country to country, and maybe even it's kind of adjusted to each individual. I don't know. So yeah. Now I have voted. Yes, I have voted for a political party. Yes. And because we have the election coming up next week, and you can vote in advance. And this year, many people are voting strategically. And I think it's interesting to see how the political debate. It's not been much, and it's not like in the USA where people are calling each other names and stuff like that. But I have seen tendencies. I have seen tendencies to that, because from the left now, for the first time in like proper political debates, I, I've watched how they have gone full in on the woke stuff, and the woke stuff is kind of over, I think, in the USA, and it came to Norway very late. So they're a bit late to the party, those people. But what I'm trying to say is that now they have come up with a brilliant plan, that's the left in Norway, to use the word white a lot, white men especially. And I think that is funny when it usually comes from a white man on the left saying that, or several white men. I'm using that word man and men in its widest possible context, thinking about one of them. He's a very wide man on the middle as well, by the way. But that's beside the point. But yeah, so so I'm changing topic a little bit here. But I do find it interesting that they can be so foolish, because Norway is quite a white country, so to speak, and they are using these talking points from social media that they have been seeing there. And it will backfire. it will backfire, because people, especially if you are a white man, it's kind of, I don't like to be that white man is used as a slur. I don't like that. I don't like that. Do you like that? If you're like a Caucasian male, do you like that your kind of skin color and sex is used as a slur? I don't like that. Is that so strange? So it's like, yeah, I was not, absolutely not going to vote for those on the left anyway, but I ended up voting quite strategically, I guess. So yeah. But anyway, thank you for the post, though, and thank you for another donation. I honestly do not understand what you wrote there. Sorry. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I voted for the only political party in Norway that have a chance to get into power that will also get rid of the wealth tax completely. And you know why? It's not because I'm a selfish, horrible person. It's because I had an accident a few weeks ago. I fell on a rock on the beach. And I'm pretty sure now that I was out for a little while. And I cut my head and I hurt my shoulder, and I could have drowned if I had fallen into the water. And as I was lying there on my back, I was thinking, if I go now, I don't want. First of all, I was actually thinking that's okay. Kind of, it's strange, but kind of okay. I've had a very good life, a full life already. Not done yet, but But I also thought, actually, I do not want my kids to be forced to sell everything that I own so that they can pay the taxes. Okay. So that's something that people should think about that a little bit more. But okay. Yeah, I did compete. I was going back and forth whether I should compete in the Norwegian regionals powerlifting competition. I was going back and forth because this accident happened a few weeks before the competition. The competition was 2 days ago, and I didn't get really I didn't get to train as I had planned to train during the last few weeks because of my shoulder. So yeah, it did not go great, but I did compete, and I won, and I was best lifter as well. When we have weight classes, and we have also, like, they use a points system, so your body weight comes into play there, and I won both with a big margin there. My age class, that's 50 to 59. So, but I did not qualify for the Open Nationals. I am sorry. I didn't make my third attempt in the squat, and that so I really needed that to get the total that I needed. Uh, so yeah, no open nationals for me this year. So I'm aiming for that next year. The open nationals is like the elite lifters, and it is not normal for someone in their 50s to be able to be able to qualify there for that. So that's yeah. Um, um, Johnny Apple from Minnesota. I think there are lots of Norwegians in Minnesota, right? Are there Norwegian beers that you know of that are sold in the US? Thank you. Well, thank you for the donation. But I'm sorry, I have no idea. Um, I have no idea of which beers are sold in Norwegian beers are sold in the USA. I don't know. Green-eyed lady, thank you. Divina Metatron, yes, he did a comment video on one of my videos. He's into the history, same as me. But I concentrate on the Viking Age, and he's like, yeah, history. It's a history channel, I guess you could say. Poststone, thank you so much for the donation. I'm getting so many donations here. This is so kind of you. You're writing, no one engages, everyone knows everything. Yeah, yeah, everyone's an expert, isn't that funny? Can't tell you how many times I experience this every day. Content is dying because of this. Yeah. DPFX99999. Good to see you here. I did see you up there in the chat, but yeah, good to see you. Oh, you are, yes. Johnny Apple is 50% Norwegian. So yeah, Diablo, I see your comment there, but I don't honestly know how that would work. Okay. Are you gonna sell out now that you're famous? Yeah, I get it. That's a bit of a joke there, but yeah, people do that. They sell out. And I read somewhere that a lot of these commentary channels, like political commentary and stuff like that, both on the left and the right, they have been paid by the Democratic. That was kind of refuted, and then it was not, and then it's a bit uncertain, but the Republican Party did absolutely send out talking points and stuff to their to the YouTubers on their playlist. So it's like, where's your authenticity when you're being paid to push political talking points? You know, and they don't, what's the word, disclose. They don't disclose that. They don't. They pretend like it's what their opinion. It might be, but the problem is, of course, that they are paid to say what they're saying. Um, and I would completely lose interest if someone is paid to say something and they don't say that they are being paid to say it. So it's like if I did not I would never push political opinions that are not my own, and I wouldn't be paid to do that. I wouldn't take money to do that. But let's say you are sponsored by a VPN, then you kind of have to make it very clear that you are being sponsored by the VPN company. You know, so you can't go obviously go in your video like, oh, by the way, you know, I found this VPN and it's the best one ever, and just try it out. There's a link here you can use. That's not honest. Even though people would understand that it's you're being sponsored, you should say so. Same with outdoors gear or cameras or whatever. So yeah, but of course, okay. Here's no. I'm going to do something very naughty because I have one of these, and people will say, "Oh, that's the most dangerous thing ever," which is ironic, I will say. But I'll have a drink of this actually. Because I woke up and I just couldn't sleep, and but anyway, yeah. So here's my here's my what I think. I don't have proof, but I would be willing to bet good money on this. I think that these, you know, I'm going to talk about Christianity. No, not Christianity, but these Christian organizations that are basically corporations. It's all about money. All about money. You know, here's what I think. I think that, and they have a lot of money. They in the USA, at least, they don't pay taxes. Here's what I think. I think that they are paying, and I've been on YouTube for a while, so I'm kind of, oh, I wish I had proof. I think that they are paying YouTubers to push a Christian agenda in their videos. Some of the biggest YouTubers. I'm pretty sure, and not even channels that are about Christianity, is it's just a what I've seen. It's just it seems like not random. It seems like not random, and also here comes another thing that I can't prove this, but I'm pretty fucking sure this is how it works. They're also paying YouTube to push their videos. So why am I certain about this? Well, because did you know that many of the largest channels are not even owned by the YouTuber presenting the videos? They typically started the channel, and then they get an offer from a corporation, from a company, and they sell the channel to the company. They get paid for each video quite a lot, but then they have to push a certain content. And that company, I'm pretty sure, is paying YouTube to promote the videos. So that's my suspicion. I think so. And Andrew says, it does feel that way sometimes, not gonna lie, especially in the conservative space. Yeah, it seems obvious, right? That, and you're writing, half the time I question if the person in question is actually of the faith. Yeah, that's another thing that yeah, I have noticed that as well. So this is like, I think it's only a matter of time before someone like a proper brave journalist, or maybe even a YouTuber, exposes these people. I think only a matter of time. So this is not me, criticizing people for being Christian. That's not, I hope you can see that that's not what I'm talking about here. And like when I'm saying that they're being paid, I suspect that they're being paid to promote a Christian message. It's not really a Christian message, is it? It's really the message from that mega church or that Christian organization. Like this is, it's big money. It's big money. And I honestly think that proper Christians, they do not care so much about wealth and money. That's my take on it. I'm not a Christian, but that's like, I have this, there's this channel, and I have, what's his name? Ed Travers. I think he's in Canada. And I really enjoy his live streams, and he's a priest, Anglican priest, and you would probably say he's very left-leaning, and I don't care, because it's an honest person. He's a Christian. His take on Christianity, I like that much more than the greedy take on Christianity, if you will. And I really value his perspective on things. I think we should not stick to our echo chambers. We should challenge ourselves a little bit. Poststones is asking, do you care about the input that we give you? Thank you for the donation, by the way. Yes. Absolutely. I am trying to keep an eye on it here on the chat. But when I respond to one of the comments in the chat, then it moves up, so I don't see the other ones typically before I've finished responding to that one. Let's see here. Yeah, Wolf of Odin says pagans and Christians better unite because Islam is trying to take over everything. Too many people are scared to say anything. I think that if we're talking about what I believe is more modern Christian values, I think they are much more similar to, I must say, modern pagan values, at least the Norse pagan values, or should I say European pagan values, much closer to that than Islam. It's just because Islam is intolerant. It really is. It's at the core of Islam is intolerance, and anyone who thinks that it is tolerant doesn't know what he or she is talking about. It's just not tolerant. So it's like this, I believe modern Christian, a modern Christian will tolerate and have no problems with people being what they would call pagan. And pagans obviously have no problem with people being Christians. It's just that you don't push it onto other people. Now, don't get me wrong. We do see the fucking idiots in, excuse my language there, in the USA, the Christian nationalists and all of that. And I'm not talking about those, because they can go to hell, and if there is a hell, I'm sure they will. But not talking about those. But like this, this Pastor Ed Travers, he's obviously tolerant, right? But Islam would not be tolerant if it's a dominating force in a society. I can't see that anywhere. And it's so funny when people say that, oh, look at this place here, this ancient city. Did you know that the Jews and the Christians and Muslims lived together here in harmony? And then it's like, I heard that on a food show on TV the other day, and I was like, no, actually, they did not at all live together in harmony there. You're actually walking through the ghettos, because they had to divide the city up in ghettos because they could not get along, So it's like, yeah, no, okay. Postone, you don't need to send me super chats to get my attention. It's very kind of you to do that, but I am doing my very best to read the chat while I'm talking. Now you're writing, I'll go away, what a community. Well, I'm sorry about that. I hope you come back. Let's see here. Okay. Scrolling up a little bit, just bear with me here. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Julia Lund says, I watched a documentary on mega churches and it was shocking what was uncovered. Yeah, I know. It is shocking because, now, don't get me wrong, I have no problem with people being very, very rich. It's like they say, oh, Elon Musk is so rich, why don't he give away money to end poverty? And it's like, sorry, that's not how it works, But that's a different topic, I guess. But I have no problems with being people getting very, very rich. I'm not against that. But when your message is Christianity, and you have a private jet, and you collect classic cars, and you have 2 mansions, and a spoilt wife, and 3 mistresses in different continents, I believe you are not really a Christian. You know, I believe you're actually running a business, and at that point, and you're being very greedy. Um, so yeah, so it's kind of it's dishonest, obviously, and we do see those on the TV from the USA, and there are some now in establishing themselves in the UK. Yeah. Let's see. Postone, I am sorry again. I feel like it's wrong that I should, if you're not happy with my response here, it's wrong that I should receive the super chats. But what I can do is that I can take that money and donate it to an animal charity, if that's better. So yeah, so I think these things are obvious, right? So it's so obvious that it's funny, and I think that these, if we're talking Islam, or we're talking Christianity, or other, there are others as well, Scientology, the Mormon Church. I guess that's kind of sort of a Christianity, and well, it doesn't matter. You just have a framework of some belief of the afterlife and all of that. So you use that to run a business, and and it's like I have only disrespect for those people, and I have so much respect for those selfless people who believe that their faith is about love and helping others. And I don't care, actually, if that's incorrect according to the scripture. So I don't care, because if you believe that like you do have actually Muslims who are absolutely invested in helping others. I know there are some of those too. It's it's not like in the main mainstream news, but that is actually a thing. If you doubt that, go and check it yourself. And you could say, well, maybe that's not according to Islam. Some would say, well, it is, but I don't care. I don't care, because if that's you, if that's what you do, you are selfless, you help others, and you are claiming that it's according to my religion. You know what? I will not disagree. I will just, it's just a good thing. It's just a good thing. Um, it's about being kind, we should try to be kind. Um, Yeah, Wolf Odin says all religions are similar to corporations. The upper levels are all business. Yeah, it's interesting also in a historical context, as I'm sure you know. It's both in within the Roman Empire and later when Christianity was spread out through Europe. It was a much more effective way to rule over people, because then you would have the king or the emperor directly under God, and who are you to protest what the king says? Because the king has kind of a direct communication line to the Almighty God, and there is only one, by the way, and he listens to the king, or the king listens to God, and all of that. So it's a much more effective way to centralize power and remove power from the people, which was basically that was basically what happened in Scandinavia as well, and why they fought Christianity so to the death, you know. And yeah, by the way, one thing that annoys me is this thing that these people have learned to say. It's like they can't think. They all say this. They all say this one line. Oh, and it goes like this. Oh, you know what? Another pagan tradition is. It's converting to Christianity. Um, I thought it was something that they said in the churches in the USA or something. Some politicians or talking heads were saying, but now I think actually it comes from that stupid TV series, The Vikings. It doesn't matter. It's just if it's just incorrect. That's one thing, but also, yeah, it's historically incorrect, um, and it kind of shows that you know nothing about history. Um, but anyway, um, let's see. Um, okay. Now I have to apologize. I'm, as I say, sometimes I say, I'm so old, so I don't know. There are some things people are writing here. I don't know what it means. Um, I don't know what. Maybe you're talking about these video games. Um, I don't know. So I'm trying to follow the chat, but yeah. Cheers. You shouldn't drink too many of these energy drinks, by the way. Yeah, boomer. Yeah. I have played a video game on one occasion in my life. One occasion. My kids. No, it was my son. Yeah. Was it? Yeah, I think it was my son, and he wanted me to try a game. And do you call it a console? You hold the thing. You hold the thing, and you push some buttons, right? And when you push the buttons, the figure on the screen shoots. But I couldn't. I couldn't. I remember I couldn't make. I didn't steer the person, so I didn't play that for many seconds. It's not for me. Which game? I don't know. This is many, many years ago. The thing you hold is a controller. The thing that you're playing the game on is called a console. Oh, okay. Um, no Viking war game. It was just some you shoot. You were supposed to shoot with a gun. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, not for me. Actually, I'm not. I don't play. I do not play. Actually, this is something I don't know why, but I've never, since I was a child, I've not played anything. I don't like playing games, like board games. I don't know why. I don't know why, but I never do it. I never play. It's like everything I'm doing that is not work. Kind of, well, I enjoy time. Like being out in nature and so on. But it's not play. I don't play. Um, so I don't know why. Don't know why. Uh, so if my books are on Audible, I don't know. I do not have any control anymore of all the languages that my books are available in. Well, I know which languages, but if they are in audio or I don't know. I don't know which platforms they. It's I can't. It would be a full-time job to keep track of that. So uh, okay. No, I don't like soccer, or as we say here, football. American football we call hand egg. So uh, Diana says hubby doesn't play board games either. Yeah. Hmm. KP Hidden, thank you for the question. What did you do for your birthday? What did I do for my birthday? Not much. Um, how did you get into powerlifting? Funny story. I started working out with weights at the age of 13. Then at 18, I started like powerlifting because there was a guy or another young man at my age who had started a powerlifting program, and he suggested I try that as well. So I did, yeah. But I was into bench pressing before that. Yeah, Kerry, I'm on the cover of a Viking board game. I am. That is true. That is true. Context. You're asking, do you partake in any bloats or hidden organizations? No, I don't. Poststone is asking, did you ever play Dungeons and Dragons? Yes, actually, I did. I did a few times. I remember now. I like the board game. No, that's not a board game. It's a. Yeah, when I was a teenager, I did play. I can't remember exactly now, but I think I did. Yeah, no, I know I did, but yeah. Skiing. What happened to skiing? Yeah, yes. I think that cross country skiing is nice, but downhill skiing here, it must be crazy if you do that because it's so expensive for a day. Doing downhill skiing, to buy a day pass, lift pass, yeah, it's extremely expensive. Um, so okay. Yes, I'm 53 now, believe it or not. Yeah, I am 53. How did that happen? My accident was, I've talked about that many times because people are asking. Oh yeah, I got a watch for my Vostok watch, like a Soviet era watch, actually. Yeah, for my birthday. No, I was just taking a bath in the sea, and it was early in the morning, and I stepped on a flat rock, and it was slippery, and I fell. That on my head, and that can be dangerous because if you pass out and you fall into the water, you can drown. That has happened before. That's what the doctor said. So, yeah. Um, and the question here: how do you feel about people who use text to speech for reading? I I I don't really have anything against that because um, there can be practical reasons why you do that. Some people have difficulties with their eyesight, and so on. Yeah. So let's see here. Um, um, no, Wolf Odin, we can just leave it. I think we can just leave it. It's okay. Donald says there's a game called Unreal World that you might like. I don't want any more screen time. So I don't want to. I do not want to play computer games. It's that simple, actually. I think we watch the screens too much. And the one thing that I'm getting offers, sponsorship, not sponsorship, but they send out emails and they say, do you want to promote our video game in a video? And I say no. I always say no, because I don't think that we should waste time looking at the screen more than necessary. So I always say no. Um, some say we are in a computer game. Probably why I don't care for them either. um, I don't think that we are in a computer game. I do not think that we are in a simulation. I think that this is real life. This is reality. It's very real. It's not fake. It's yeah. Um, I'll tell you a joke. I saw a meme. Yeah. So, and under it, I'll tell you that one first. It's no, okay. So there's this picture, right? A photo, and apparently the doctor students, or those who study to become doctors, not like the degree, but like if physicians, they are, and we should be happy that they are actually training on rubber models of you know that examination that all men dread, so the prostate exam. Some of you will know what I'm talking about, which, as I've said before, I believe is something that you should get once a year. It's wise to do that. It's not it's not it's not it's not pleasant, but it's very wise to do that. Okay, yeah. So the prostate exam. So apparently the students, they train on rubber models. So there's this picture, and some students are sitting by a table, and you have like that part of the human body in rubber in front of them on the table, and there's a screen, I believe. So there's like this simulation of the examination, right? And yes, you know what? We should be very happy that they do, hopefully, most of their training on those rubber models, right? Because you don't want them to do the training on you. Yeah. And it says under the picture, worst video game ever. Worst video game ever. Uh, so, yeah. Um, so that's a bit of a joke there. Um, yeah. Uh, okay. Yeah, Wolf Odin says, thank you everyone for keeping this stream mostly troll free. Yeah. It's amazing. It's amazing. Um, yeah, the great and powerful Clippy. We'll talk about Clippy. We will talk about Clippy. But first, you are writing video game advertisements on a channel about nature, bushcraft, and mythology would be so contradictory. Made the right choice there, Bjorny. Bjorny, yeah. Um, and Laura, if you're wondering, my doctor said if you have like if you have that in your family, like if your father and so on had it, you should actually start getting into like the yearly or once every 2 years when you're 40. That's what I've heard. um, let's see. Yeah. So Clippy, what's that about? Do you know? Clippy is the Clippy appeared on the Windows update many years ago and was hated. And for good reason, because nobody asked for Clippy. But the thing is, that was Louis Rossmann who started the Clippy thing. Microsoft Word Clippy, yes. So he was only there to help. So even though hated in his time, Clippy is gone now. He's gone to Clippy heaven, but he was only there to help. And now, what these software updates are doing is that, first of all, you have to pay a subscription. That's what they want you to do. They want you to become a customer forever, monthly. And also, they have incorporated AI into everything. So you have to be really awake. And, if you're going to use Word, you have to know what you're doing. You have to disable all these AI auto spelling crappy functions, or else it will just ruin your text completely. Yeah. So that's what Clippy is. Clippy is a protest. So you change your profile picture to Clippy. So you protest what I just mentioned. Yeah. And I talked about this here yesterday, not here, not online, but it's called on YouTube now the enshittification of everything. I think that's what they call it. Have you noticed how everything gets worse? The quality is reduced. The quality is reduced. Why is that? And why is it that not only is the quality reduced, but they want you to pay forever, every month? Is it BMW, or is it? I think it is. Have now introduced, apparently, a subscription fee that you have to pay every month in order to use all of the functions in your car. In your car. I would be furious if I bought a car and you had to, you have to pay every month to use the, I don't know, the GPS or the safety cameras or whatever. Oh, sorry. Was it Volkswagen? Okay, okay, but BMW wanted to do it. Well, yeah, probably Volkswagen. Yeah, okay. And I think that's coming to that's what they're trying to do. I've heard they do that with printers, and yeah, it's such a dishonest thing to do. Yeah. Does anyone know? Can anyone check it? Andrew says you pay a monthly for heated seats or something. I should have checked this, but I actually didn't plan to talk about this. Thank you, Postone. Thank you for the donation. Futo has a classic video for getting off grid and owning your data. Okay. Tesla as well, maybe. No, I honestly think that I hope the car I have now will last forever. So yeah, I have a Toyota 4-wheel drive. That was BMW with the heated seats, but they stopped it because of customer backlash. Yeah, I can understand that. Why? I mean, you you have to pay each month to have heated seats. That's greedy on a whole different level. DJ Lewis, is that Volkswagen? You're saying you have to pay extra to have full horsepower of your engine. Is that Volkswagen or is it Tesla? That's oh yeah, Volkswagen. Yes, they were caught. I remember that some years ago. They cheated with emissions. They did, and they were caught. Yeah. Actually, I need a new battery. I believe. I hope that is the thing. That is the problem. and I discovered that yesterday actually. So I'm trying. I'll try to get that sorted out today, but it's it's like one of the other members in the powerlifting gym, because I was in that area, and she very kindly offered to assist me, but she had a hybrid car. She has a hybrid car, and she opened the what do you say, bonnet, the front of the car, and she couldn't find the battery. I couldn't find the battery. Well, we could find batteries, but there was nowhere to attach the starting cables. So, you know, what's going on there? Uh, yeah. I actually think I'm actually a big fan of electric bicycles. I like those. I actually do. Yeah, but obviously you can't use that. Like it's not like that's a substitute for a car. Or that's easy to say if it's summertime, but not so easy to say if it's wintertime, right? Um, yeah, stress test says e-bikes are awesome if you live around the city. They're fast and very quiet. Yeah. Yeah. Another thing is, of course, how they are taxing us for everything. Now, this is a big topic on my channel, and I have complained about that before. But if you think about it, if you think about taxes, I believe people need to think about taxes in a very different way. So, if you, and what I mean is that if you have you seen these TV shows that where people have wasted all their money and they are buying stupid stuff, and they get help to sort out their finances and so on? Have you seen those? We have. I'm sure they come from the USA, but we have them here as well, and they have a budget and all that, you know. And every time the thing that is missing in their budget is taxes. First of all, I will say, okay, Donald says if they can tax your property, you don't really own that property. I do not like that statement, and I disagree completely. I'll just say that I won't yet again explain why and the definition of ownership. I will just say that if you follow that logic, you do not own your body, because someone could come and kill you when you walk down the street. So, but anyway, taxes is an expense. And if we start looking at taxes as an expense, I think it's beneficial if people could do that. Um, and by taxes, I mean also everything you have to pay extra that goes to the state. When you buy something, you have VAT on that. If you have a road tax, that's tax. All of that is extra cost, and not only is it increasing inflation, but also it's a way to redistribute wealth. And people should understand that. So, yeah. Taxes is going to be the deciding factor when it comes to the Norwegian election next week. Because taxes here lately have just gone through the roof. It's crazy. It is crazy. So and there are some of the Norwegian municipalities, there is no property tax. I think that's because traditionally property has been kind of seen as a holy cow or holy in Norway. But now, very, very few of those municipalities are left, those where there is no property tax. And I live in a municipality with a high property tax. Uval says, I'm always under the notion that Norway is rich with oil and have enough not to tax the people. That would be nice. But we are taxed. I think it's the highest tax level in all of Europe. It's insane. It's insane. So Christian says, tax the rich more. I kind of think that that's ironic because that's what they always say, right? Tax the rich more. Yeah. I will guess that you're being ironic there. Or maybe you're not being ironic. Define rich. Define rich. But they won't do that, right? They don't want to define rich because if they had to, well, yeah. Exactly. The great and powerful Clipper says, tax the rich means tax everyone more. That's what it means. That's what it means. Yeah. I feel that I do not want to get into the explanation of the fucked up Norwegian tax system. I do not want to do that now. I have been talking for almost 2 hours. So, yeah. I will just say that I am, per definition, rich. I have a high income. And I find myself selling off camping gear to save up money to pay for the tax on money I took out of my company to pay for the refurbishment of my cabin that I will be renting out. And to pay for all that taxes, which is fucking insane. I am forced to sell off camping gear, everything that I'm not using. And I don't see how I am then defined as rich. How did that happen? How did that happen? You can only say, "Oh, you're rich," because you do not. If you do not understand how wealth works, right? And you could say, "Well, you could just sell that cabin. Just sell it. Why do you have a cabin? You shouldn't have a cabin." You know what? I've spent hours upon hours refurbishing that cabin. And I've paid for the builders, and they're not cheap. Some of them will scam you, they will leave and never come back, leave the place in a mess. No. And you know what? I am doing that because I want to put the money I have saved up into something that makes the money grow so that my wealth will grow. Why am I doing that? Am I doing that for me? No, I am doing that because we are moving into a kind of society where there will be no pension for old people. Wake up. There will be no pension for old people. Those who are young now, they will not get a pension when they get old because the numbers don't add up. And the numbers don't add up because people are not having enough children. So I'm putting some effort into trying to build up some wealth, and that wealth is for my kids. And I'm not building up that wealth to give it to the state. And honestly, this state here, the state of Norway, have done very, very little for me. And I'm sorry, but I'm like, I'm always hearing, oh, you should be so lucky. You're so lucky to have grown up in Norway. The state took care of you. No, it didn't. School was not nice. I'll just say that those years, the entire childhood, not very nice. Not very nice. I paid for my university education, and the health issues that I've had and had recently, all you hear from the fucking public welfare system is that no, we can't help you. So you have to pay for it to get treatment yourself. So all those fucking socialists with all their ideas about how wealth works, they can go and fondle themselves in a dark room, which I'm sure they will do anyway, because they can't get any. And I am building up wealth for my kids. It's not for other people, it's for them. It's not for me, it's not for you, it's not for anyone out there, it's for my children. So that's how it is. Yeah, okay. Christian, so there are these numbers. The world's wealthiest 1% owns approximately 43% of all global wealth. No, that's not correct. That's not how it works. Now, companies own companies don't really own wealth. Companies are valued from how they are perceived as being able to create wealth in the future. Okay, that's what decides their value, and their value is then divided up into onto the shareholders, right? We can talk about the problems with power being concentrated. Power through influence is being concentrated on very few companies like BlackRock. But the idea that, oh, look at Elon Musk, he is so rich, and the idea that you have a bunch of people like Elon Musk that owns the majority of the world's wealth, you can only say that. Sorry, I have to say this to you. You can only say that if you do not understand economics and how economics work. Um, it's yeah, okay. Um, yeah, now I can't remember exactly, but um, rich individuals. Now, you know, let's say they own. There are some people who actually own more than 50% of the shares in their company. Some own even more. If it's a family business, typically, it's like the family owns 67% of the shares to have the majority vote in the most important decisions in the company. And what they tend to do, if we're talking, so what they tend to do is that they do not stay in a country if it's not financially beneficial to stay in that country. So if you're increasing the taxes, and Norway is such a good example of that, those people take their companies with them and they move to another country. They will obviously do that, and I will do that if I get the opportunity. But because of the fucking exit tax in Norway, I can't do it without being taxed into oblivion. So I'm not even a rich individual by that definition. Uh, but it's like, yeah, this idea that we just raise the tax. Well, for tax the very rich. Well, they will leave your country, and they will take the companies with them, and you will lose all of the. You will, you think that let's say the company employs 10,000 people. Okay, you just lost 10,000 jobs in your country. Okay, that's what happens. That's what happens. Yeah, okay. We are at that point where I really have to explain the fucked up system in Norway. I'm sure Norway is not the only country that has this system. Um, so, okay. I own 100% of my company. So the value of my company goes into the equation where everything I own is added together and they get a number. That's my wealth. Okay. I have to pay wealth tax on that because I am so rich, apparently. And the wealth tax is, it's not much, it's not like it's a 10%. No, it's no. But you see, do you have $10,000, $20,000 lying around? Do you? I don't. I don't. But maybe you do. But I don't. Okay. But that's the wealth tax, right? And you have to pay that privately every year. Every year. So where do you get that money? Most people, they just don't have that money. So how do you get that money? Well, you can take up a mortgage, but you don't really want to get a higher mortgage every fucking year. So what you do is that you take money out of your company, but that's not for free. You have to pay taxes on that, and in Norway it's almost 40%. So if you take 1 million kroner out of your company, you have to pay 400,000 kroner in taxes on that. So you take money out, you pay taxes on that, and what is left, you use that to pay your wealth tax. Did you get that one? So, yeah, well forward then. You have to take money out and pay taxes on that to pay the taxes, to pay the wealth tax. So that's the reason why a lot of Norwegians who own companies, they have moved. Some moved to Switzerland. Now many are moving to Sweden. So yeah. So no, Laura is asking, were taxes this crazy in Norway 30 years ago? No, no, it wasn't. This is a fairly recent thing. Sweden, just because it's closer and they have all the nature, it's basically the same as Norway in that regard. I was sitting there watching on the TV when these politicians, they said, nå skal vi ta de rike. Translated to, now we're going to get the rich, like get them. And I thought, okay, I know what this means. And then they increased the taxes on everything, and they introduced the exit tax. And not only do you have to try to build up a company and make your company healthy and so on in this crazy tax system, but you can't leave because of the exit tax, which is just criminal. Exit tax is like they tax you, I think that's like almost 40% on everything you own if you leave the country now, because so many people were leaving. No, it's not 10%. It's no, Home Planet, no. It's not 10% of your wealth. Is it? I can't remember now. Is it 1% or something like that? But if you're if the value of a company is like 10 million, 1% of that you have to pay privately, that's quite a lot of money. And you don't have the money. It's in your company. It's in it's the value that the government puts on your company. It's not money on your bank account. That's what these people on the left don't seem to understand. But yes, it's almost 40% for taking money out of your company. Yes. So let's say your company is valued to 10 million. What's 1% of 10 million? 10 million, isn't that like 100,000? Or is it, yeah. So, yeah, I am actually renting out the cabin. There's a link on my website to that, actually. Yeah. No, you see, the cabin, the plan is to, my daughter is doing her master's next year, from starting in August, I believe. So if she wants to live there, the masters will, it's closer. Um, so if she wants to move there, then she can do that. Until then, I will be renting it out. Laura is asking, does Norwegian royal family pay taxes? I don't think they do. We pay taxes so that they can spend money. Uval says Norway is not socialist. People think that, yeah, Norway is not socialist. We have lots of politicians here who want to make Norway socialist. I would say Norway is run on state capitalism, I would say. Mike is asking, when you began your career as a novelist, were the people around you supportive of your efforts? I didn't tell anyone. So, yeah, the Norwegian royal family, they're not really Norwegian, they're Danish, but oh, yeah, what a bunch of bastards. My favorite authors, I don't really have favorite authors. No. Okay. Wolf Odin says, buy gold and silver. Inflation is killing your cash. I think that, at least for me, getting rid of debt, I'm going to say debt with a B. just because I can. Debt, getting rid of debt. Has been good, and buying property has been good. When it comes to when it comes to increasing wealth, yeah, debt. Angela is asking, are the forest gnomes watching the chat to make sure people are subscribing to the channel? I don't know. Could be. Could be. Could be. Yeah, I think I said before, the only reason why people accept the tax level that they have is that it's automatically, for most people, if you receive wages, like monthly wages, your employer has to remove the tax portion of that before it's paid out to you. So it's automatic. You kind of don't even notice. And I think that if it was different, there would be massive protests. I think that if you got the whole sum of the whole amount of money every month, and then you had to take the tax portion of that out of that every month and pay it to the government, I believe that there would be massive protests. I believe that those old, these greedy politicians, they would not have been able to keep the tax level that this high. I don't think they would have been able to do that. That's my theory. Home plans as courts in the USA have declared USA's Trump tariffs illegal. What will happen because of it is not yet known. No, it seems like they have detached the government from the legal system completely. I don't know. I think Trump looks very tired, which is understandable. But I kind of think that, I don't know, he seems to carry his age poorly now. And yeah, I hope that he will be able to. Yeah, he's almost 80. Yeah, I hope he'll be able to last through the next 3 and more than 3 years. I hope so. Also because I think that if J.D. Vance would then become president effectively, I do not like JD Vance. um, and everyone says, in Europe, Trump is hated. And yeah, he is hated here. I don't hate Trump, by the way. I don't like him, but you know, I I wouldn't say I hate him, but JD Vance is hated even more than Trump is hated. He is he has said all the wrong things. All the wrong things. Yeah. The Epstein files. Yeah. Left wing propaganda. Wolf Mueller. Yeah. Yes, it's yeah, it's funny how these things work. Uh, yeah. Um, yeah, the Epstein files, left wing propaganda. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. Yeah. Um, yeah, JD Vance, I think it's quite obvious that, well, let me first say that when it comes to Trump, I think his first, when he was president last time, that was very different. I think now he's had to make some deals with people that, well, it's obvious, right? It's big tech and other companies, arms companies, probably. I think he did that because he had to get the finances for the campaign and so on. But JD Vance is just that's I don't know. Some Americans, they pride themselves in saying that, oh, this is not a democracy. Well, I tend to agree sometimes. Tend to agree, and that's not a good thing. Let's just put it that way. Um, yeah, if you get JD Vance there, uh, good luck with that. No, I'm not saying Trump is one of us. I'm not saying that. I do not like Trump. I do not like him at all. Um, so okay. So been talking for 2 hours and 14 minutes now, and I hope you enjoyed. Um, I hope you enjoyed this conversation. Yeah. Um, Now it's almost 6:30 in the morning. Okay. Have a wonderful evening or morning, whatever it is, and we will talk soon. Do check out the video that is going viral on the main channel. Link here in the chat, pinned comment there. Okay, bye bye.